So we spoke a long time about quitting your job. That day has come, so you've quit your job. Now what do you do? Let's talk about it. This is Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. Back this week with a new episode. Before we go any further, please like, subscribe, and share. And I appreciate all of you who've been reaching out to us to be guests on the show. Definitely have lined up some interviews, so I'm happy to talk about that. Again, if you would like to be featured on the show, if you have an idea or a comment, positive or negative, we accept all feedback. Please go to tomdanger.com, TOMDANGER.com, and hit that contact form. Reach out to us, and we'll see how best we can help you. So, day has come. You give notice. You finally grow a pair. You figure it out. You say, this is what I want to do. And you take the leap. Now what? Right? So now you have the freedom to do what you want to do, but what does it feel like? And I can only speak from my personal experience. It's bittersweet. When you have been conditioned to think a particular way for so many years, you're pretty much trained to be an employee, and now you have to unlearn all the things that you've been doing. Been an employee for 20 plus years. This is all I really know. But I know that something didn't sit right in my soul, because every job that I've been in, and I've been fortunate to thrive in every position that I've been in, but every job that I've been in, it reaches the point to where it's a struggle for me to get out of bed. It's a struggle. And I'm not one of those people who say to myself, like, oh, what's my purpose? I understand what my purpose is, but my job wasn't aligned with my purpose. And that was part of the reason that I struggled. I've met some great people. I've developed skill sets that I didn't know existed. But it's scary. I'm not going to sit here and act like it isn't scary. I've seen many family members retire or even change career paths and basically wilt away, which is what I don't want. I don't want to live a life of regret. I don't want to live in fear of not taking a chance. So while I say, like, I'm fearful in the sense of, it's almost like, for those of you, like when you ride a bike for the first time, you get that feeling like you're riding a bike and it feels good to ride the bike, but at the same time, you don't want to fall off and bust your ass. But even if you do bust your butt, you're just going to get up and keep on pedaling. And that's what the goal is, to get up and keep on pedaling. And I'm a firm believer in leaving on good terms. I never wanted it to be where it was an emotional decision, like things are falling to pieces, even though realistically a lot of things are falling to pieces. But that has nothing to do with me. This is just something that's happening globally, right? The way that we work, the way that we worked in the past 18 months, especially here in the States during the pandemic, we were able to create our own working lifestyles. And now that's being taken away. And a lot of us, to go back to what was considered as the norm, nobody wants to do that, right? We want to live. I want to live. I took the chance. I walked away from six figures for a peace of mind. And there's no amount of money that you can give me for a peace of mind. I hear a lot of you always say, like, oh, I can't do that because I have bills and I provide for my family. And that's an excuse. The excuse is that you're not going to adapt. You are going to adapt. You're going to adapt. The same way when you figure out how to make do with what you have, that's adapting. And it's just the feeling that you get when you're uncomfortable because it's something that you don't know. And it makes you anxious. And then your mind starts to go in all these weird places to where you're not sure what's going to happen. But here's what I recommend. Just map it out to the best of your ability. Things will never go 100% as the map. But start to paint the picture as to what you want your life to look like. Start to have conversations with people who are in the position that you want to be in. Start to strategize and put money aside so that you can have options. That's what money gives you. Money gives you options. Yes, it gives you ability to buy things, but we're talking about options. The option of if you choose to walk away from one situation, you still have the ability to pay your bills. You still have the ability to support your family. And this type of option does not come to you by being comfortable. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. You'll have to do one or two things. And this is just my hardcore belief. If you really want this, you got to do one or two things. Either you're going to forego certain things, so literally not spending money on certain things, or you're going to hustle. And if you're going to hustle, and save that money to build up a nest egg to do what you want to do. And when you go to have your conversation that's in closing, depending upon who you work with, you can look at it one or two ways. You could always just say, hey, I'm choosing to do this for personal reasons, nothing to do with the company. Or you can tell the truth, which is what I did. I basically said, my heart is not in this, and I cannot serve you 100%. Rather than to waste your time or my time, I'd rather walk away. So now you have this free time. What are you going to do with it? The first thing that you're going to need to do is unlearn what you've learned. Everybody has their way of doing things. Everyone is going to tell you, oh, you should take this path, and oh, you should do it this way. While it's cool to learn from other people and what they've done, only you know what's best for you. You're going to have to take your time and figure it out. What feels right to you? For me, leaving one thing and automatically jumping into another thing isn't what I wanted to do. I need a break. I need a transition period to get to this new person, to create the new you. You got to have a transition period. Some people will say, start your side hustle until your side hustle becomes your main hustle. Well, that may be true. The thing about hustling, right? If you're hustling and you're already in a job that you don't like, why should your hustle be a hustle instead of creating a lifestyle? I don't think any of us want to hustle for the rest of our lives, right? Hustle is to move fast. Hustle is to get it done quick and to get as much as you can from it when you're doing it. So I don't think that hustle is the right word. It's what lifestyle do you want to create for you? How do you see your days? Like, do you visualize what does your day look like? How do you spend your mornings? How do you spend your evenings? How do you spend time with your family? How do you make time for yourself? How much time or how much money are you going to invest into continually improving yourself? Because the more that you improve yourself, the more that you can improve your relationships and the products and services that you put out there. So I'm interested to hear from those of you who are thinking about taking a leap and what you're most afraid of. And based on your responses, I will do my best to answer those questions in next week's podcast. This is Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best.